What you are seeing now are a few small children on their way to school. Unlike children in cities who take the bus to school, their journey is along a winding sky ladder. This ladder clings tightly to the cliffside, vertical and perilous, and with one misstep, they could fall into the abyss below. Does it seem unreal? This is probably the most dangerous school route in the world. This scene takes place in a village nestled among the mountains of southwestern China, seemingly cut off from the rest of the world. The village is perched on the edge of a cliff, as if left behind by nature's hand on the mountaintop. While the scenery here is breathtakingly majestic, the people who live here endure unimaginable hardships and challenges. This village is called Cliff Village, where generations of villagers have lived, blending with the steep peaks around them. But for them, the most helpless part is the treacherous path their children must take to go to school. The sky ladder reaches an altitude of 1,600 meters and is about 4 kilometers long. Following the contours of the mountain, the children must climb it step by step with great difficulty. This is not just climbing stairs, they face a man-made ladder constructed from iron bars, with rough handrails that could slip at any moment. In the past, before this ladder existed, the children had to scale the cliff with their bare hands. Even today, as they climb the sky ladder, they often feel their legs turn to jelly and their palms break into a sweat from exhaustion and fear. By the time they arrive at school, they are utterly worn out. Although this journey is fraught with danger for them, in the hearts of these children, the sky ladder is a path to knowledge and hope. "If we don't study, what else can we do?" one young girl once said. Her eyes were filled with determination, despite knowing that every step on this ladder could bring life-threatening danger. Aside from going to school, the daily life of the villagers is also filled with inconveniences. There are no stores around the village, and in order to buy essential supplies, they must traverse the mountains and leave this isolated world. It takes several hours to reach the nearest market, and the road there is equally dangerous. Villagers carry their rations, oil, salt, and clothing, slipping step by step on the rugged mountain paths, risking falling off cliffs at any moment to complete this shopping expedition. Especially during the rainy season, the paths become extremely slippery, with loose soil making each step feel like walking on thin ice. Unfortunately, these long trips are not occasional, but part of the villagers' daily life. An elderly villager said, "Every time I go out to buy something, I pray that I can return safely. The mountain roads are really too dangerous, but we have no other choice." These words sound simple, but the hardships behind them command deep respect. The villagers living on these cliffs have grown accustomed to battling with nature, accustomed to placing their lives in peril. In recent years, the Chinese government has finally taken notice of the plight of Cliff Village and built a steel ladder for the villagers. This change has made the children's route to school less life-threatening, and the villagers now have more opportunities to connect with the outside world. Although the ladder hasn't completely transformed their lives, it has at least brought a sense of safety and convenience. However, these improvements, while welcome, don't solve all the village's problems. Transportation remains difficult, educational resources are scarce, and medical conditions are almost non-existent. For the people living in the clouds, they hope to become more integrated into modern society and enjoy the basic living conditions they deserve. Some young people have chosen to leave the village, seeking opportunities in big cities, while others have decided to stay and hold on to the land where their ancestors lived. The elders often tell the children, no matter how exciting the outside world is, this place will always be our home. Their words carry a deep emotional attachment, yet also a sense of helplessness towards reality. There are many elderly living up in the mountains now, and since they're getting old, they can't go down to the town to shop by themselves. Thankfully, there's a young guy named Lee who goes down several times a week to help them buy groceries, similar to the volunteers you see in big cities. Thanks to his help, the elderly have been able to manage. With so many young people leaving, only these old grandmothers remain. Maybe it won't be long before this village on the cliff disappears altogether.